Hello everyone and welcome to your Saturday news crew. It is I, Jules Gill, joined by the... Are you going to honestly slurp next to me, you goddamn animal? Joined by Phil Chambers, and that can mean only one thing. It is time for some news, so let's hit that jingle, you prick.
That's what you get for always asking for the jingle. You know what the answer is.
Can we at least sing the actual proper news theme?
Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time?
Yes, we are. Let's kick things off by talking about something that unfortunately does not match the level of positivity that we have just put out there.
It really doesn't.
And that is Konnan being slapped by, there was a Impact tapings that were going on. And Konnan, as a wrestler, he's been working in the business since the late 80s.
Forever.
He's held multiple championships. He's worked
everywhere.
He's worked with the likes of AAA, Impact, WCW, and from all accounts, he's basically a really, really nice guy. But not just simply for the work he's done.
Very respected guy.
Yeah, for the work he's put in the ring, and also the fact that he's tried to put across Latin American culture in the ring, and all of everything he's done. It's great. Unfortunately, there does seem to be one person who does not like him, and that is Leon Negro, who slapped him after the Impact tapings. Now, Dave Meltzer shared the video, which we will also share with you.
Indeed.
And he said, since the story is starting to go around, there is a video of what happened to Konnan, or with Konnan and Leon Negro tonight outside of the Impact tapings. This is not an angle. The only way to describe this is because unfortunately I can't speak Spanish, and I'm pretty sure that your
definitely cannot.
Language limited to what, dog and human?
See.
Oh, that was actually...
See what I did there?
That's good. So now
Fluent.
let's just roll the video and you can try and figure out what's going on.
Te vuelvo a repetir, nada tiene que ver triple acá, es tuyo y mío. ¿Ya qué? ¿Ahí mueres? ¿Ya le vas a parar tu carro? ¿Ya me vas a respetar? ¿Me vas a respetar por su cosa? ¿Cómo no me vas a respetar? No te vuelvas a meter conmigo.
Oh my god, he slapped him in the face.
It actually looked like a proper stiff slap. That
It probably took Konnan back as well. Like, what is
huge fan that he no-sold it. He was just kind of like, whatever I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it's just like all right.
Spanish.
If anyone speaks Spanish and can translate what's going on in the comments, that would be very useful to us.
Yeah, it would actually further the news story.
It
Maybe
would.
we could actually report on it further.
If you can say what they're actually saying, I'll pin the comment at the top. How about that? Give it one of those little hearts and a like and things.
Because it would be very, very remiss if I've just bigged up Konnan and he was being an absolute big
I
ball
also
of
now
prick.
worry that someone could just make up whatever and I'm just going to pin it there and go, oh yeah, he seems trustworthy.
That is actually a very good point. So if you want to troll WhatCulture, please put what you think they're saying in Spanish. You don't even need to speak it apparently, because we'll pin it. What a joy.
Anyway, next up, we have some speculation about a possible Sasha Banks injury.
Sorry, WhatCulture News doing some speculative news.
Never speculate. Speculate to accumulate.
This guy right here.
Anyway, they've been trying to do this match, Sasha Banks versus Lacey Evans, for about 3 weeks now. They were advertising it for this week's show, and then they ended up just doing an angle where Lacey Evans attacked Sasha backstage, and then it ended up being Bayley versus Lacey Evans instead, and Lacey Evans won that and then got a championship match at the Royal Rumble. We'll get more to that later on. Last week they were announcing it for ages, and then they just said that Sasha Banks had found some recording time in the studio to record that epic track that goes something along the lines of...
Don't you do it.
Yes, yes, y'all. So fresh, y'all. Snoop Dogg and Sasha Banks are the best, y'all.
Okay, so this is the thing, guys. I know you don't know this, but I took 3 weeks off to go home for a bit, so I didn't have to work with this because
Dogg and Sasha Banks are the best, y'all.
Just keep. Why do you constantly sing and then
great.
don't let me have my bloody intro?
Anyway,
Fuming.
moving on. So they've been trying to do this match for about 3 weeks. It was originally slated to happen at TLC back in December, but then they moved it back for a possible match at the Royal Rumble, and they've been announcing it for ages on SmackDown. But the last time we actually saw Sasha Banks in the ring was on January the 3rd, I think it was, on that episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, and she's been there, and they've been teasing the matches, so we're wondering if there's something going on, and maybe they think that maybe she'll be cleared for the next week, and then they're not cleared, so they have to rewrite it and do something else and move it back to the next week and to the next week.
It's incredibly strange because it's giving this whole feud a really, really weird energy, because it's like, you've got this whole thing of being like, oh, I'm really annoyed at you, but I can't fight you.
It very much started off as Sasha versus Lacey as well. Bayley was kind of like a third wheel in the whole situation.
Bayley still is. Bayley's still in like all of the promo shots. She's in the background. It's never her. She's the bloody champion. It seems like they're fighting for honor, that there's nothing to actually gain from this at all. It's a very strange feud.
So Sasha's not been on the house shows either. So if she is injured, 100% get well soon. We just want to see Sasha Banks get back in the ring because she's brilliant. But worrying.
But we also remember when she was going through some the contract negotiations before, after the whole WrestleMania incident.
Indeed.
There was a lot of time when she basically said, right, well, I'm not going to be doing this. We're going to have to work out or redo our like feuds and stuff like that. So maybe she might be sticking the boot in and just being like, look, I'm not happy with this situation. She might literally be trying to pull herself from TV.
Who knows?
You just don't know in this weird world of wrestling.
What's next?
Something not fun at all. So obviously, recently, Rocky Johnson, he passed away. Obviously, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's father, WWE Hall of Famer. Huge impact on the business. Like literally one of the few people that you could say shaped the business and the industry to be what it is today. An absolute megastar if ever there was one. Absolutely tragic that he passed away. And but we do have more details on the results of how he died, because a lot of people were questioning what was the cause of death. It turns out to be, according to the Tampa Bay Times, he passed away due to a blood clot, and he passed away in his home in Florida on Wednesday. He was 75. So it's absolutely like terrible, obviously, a loss like this in anyone's family, but in retrospect, in the tiniest of silver linings to any cloud, at least you can say it wasn't a horrible, painful thing.
Just a natural causes.
Like that's the way that we could only ask to ever go in this world. So obviously
thoughts go out to friends and family of him.
He had such a huge like following of people that cared. Like the amount of tributes that came out after his son.
The outpouring now has been massive.
It's incredible. Like I feel like it's a horrible thing, like it will happen to all of us, and it's absolutely terrible and devastating, but at the same time, it brings so many people together in remembrance of a positive force. And I really hope that this sort of stuff leaves people with a good energy to move on with their own lives and do something better to make their legacy as important as his was to them, as it were. So there we go.
Anyway,
speaking of legends,
next up, not really. I have an update of everything.
Not even a joke. Between us, we'd already know what the order of the news is. Not really. No selling it.
I have an update on the matches and the announcements for the Rumble match itself. Everything that's happening at the Royal Rumble, basically. So I'm just going to go through it all because we had a few more announcements on SmackDown. So we have Sheamus versus Shorty G.
Whoa!
I am really looking forward to that match. I think that's going to be so much fun.
I want Sheamus to batter piss out of him.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We have a Falls Count Anywhere match, which was announced on SmackDown for Roman Reigns versus King Baron Corbin.
I thought that I'd gone into a coma, come out again. It's the exact same feud.
Still going on. It's going to be 3 months strong at that point.
I feel like it's Groundhog Day. The Groundhog has come out.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, that's good. Why are we not using
Day.
What? So there we go. So you've got that, and then it comes out, and he goes like, "Don't."
Woof woof. You said he's coming out.
Yeah, but he sees his own. No, but he sees his own shadow. Right, you're ruining my joke, which is that it's the Bill Murray Groundhog Day, and he sees his own shadow. And now we get 3 more months of banter.
There it is. Anyway, moving on. I have to just ruin that entire thing.
Thank you.
We've obviously got the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Lacey Evans and Bayley. We have the Raw Women's Championship match between Asuka and Becky Lynch, which I'm very much looking forward to as well. We have a strap match for the Universal Championship between Daniel Bryan and The Fiend.
Whoa!
That should be interesting. And we have entrants for the Women's Rumble match so far are Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, Nikki Cross, Sarah Logan, and 26 others.
I thought you were actually going to name more than that, just kind of like, and they all just get shoved into the ring at once.
That's all we've got so far.
That's annoying that there's no legends in that already.
Yeah, well, there'll be some mystery, surprise.
I know, but I really would like to have at least one to look forward to.
Yeah. One right here.
What, you reckon Too Cool are coming down for the Women's Royal Rumble?
No, for the men's, idiot. Anyway, speaking of the men's Rumble, we have Brock Lesnar in at number 1, obviously.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, AJ Styles, Eric Rowan, King, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, Tucker, Elias, Aleister Black, Buddy Murphy, Rusev, Bobby Lashley, R-Truth, Braun Strowman, Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura, and 10 other people.
Cool.
So the men's one is definitely shaping up.
Yeah.
Not so much the women's one for some reason.
That's really strange.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, honestly, the Royal Rumble is the best gimmick
Royal Rumble
match
is
that
the
the
best show of
WWE
the year
ever
by
done.
far. I love the Royal Rumble
Yes.
so very much, and we are going to be doing a live stream of it. So join us, and we'll have some stupid raffles and fun, and it'll be great.
Do you have, if you could choose anyone to come back besides Too Cool, because I know you've just obviously pointed them out.
Scotty Too Hottie.
Well, yeah, well, is still part of Too Cool.
Yeah, I
last
should
time
buy one
checked.
of those hats and get their hair spiked up.
Who would you like to come back? You get to pick one person.
Rikishi.
Ooh, that would be good.
Stink faces for everyone.
That would actually be good. I'd want Kevin Nash, but only as Diesel.
Oh, I imagine having this little face.
Yeah, just see him like, oh,
This is the best day ever.
my pants.
Next.
We're talking about Mike Kanelis. That's it.
And finally,
Mike Kanelis, he's been talking about renewing his contract. Him and his wife signed multiple year deals with the WWE. Sorry, it looks like I'm losing steam. It's because I am, because this story is an absolute no-hoper. He has decided to come back. He's wrestling now. He had a victory recently on a house show, but it was whether or not he was going to come back or not. People didn't know if he was or not, even though he has a contract, so he's contractually obliged to do so. But then he said he wanted release from his contract because, of course, he does, because him and his wife, that's all they talk about. It's the only way that they feel like they're going to stay relevant. And then she didn't even show up down the ring with him.
She has having a baby.
Yeah, I know she is, but at the same time, all they're doing is just mouthing off. All they're just like, it's like, oh, I'll sign a deal, multi-million pounds, please, thank you very much. Oh, I'm not happy with it. You've got the money. You've got the fucking money.
And finally, just let you relax for a while. Luke Harper
Yay.
is doing teasy things. He appeared on Sammy Guevara's blog. It was the first thing you see on the blog. Sammy Guevara is wandering down and he's just going, it's Friday. And then he turns the camera and there's Luke Harper and he's like, you know what that means? And it made me very, very happy. Because if you don't know, Luke Harper for about 3 years now has just been tweeting every single day. It's Tuesday, you know what that means. It's Saturday, you know what that means. That's literally all he tweets. It's the best thing ever.
The best thing is that like
So
it takes so much commitment to get a joke out. Because he's got to sit there and just go like, I cannot tweet anything else now, or else the streak is broken. Like,
I love seeing the difference in like likes and retweets of it. Like every now and then one will pop off massive for no apparent reason. It's the same thing he's been tweeting for years.
Because sometimes he'll be like, you know what, Monday is here.
Yeah, I do know what that means.
I do know what that means. And then it's like, oh, Friday, what does that mean? Like, I don't know what that means.
But he's there, he's with Sammy Guevara. They were backstage, not backstage, they were doing a signing event at some hockey game, I think it was. And he appeared on his blog, but he's teasing that he might be going to AEW, and I am very okay with Brody Lee going to AEW because I love my big brother Brody Lee. He's the best.
Having a big boot in the face as well from that man would be an honour.
Yep.
He's just a really fun guy, it seems, as well. So yeah, there we go. That's been the news.
We did it.
We got through an absolute train wreck once more. Who knows if I'll be back again for another Saturday after this absolute has destroyed my life expectancy by a couple of years. But we will later on be talking about the events of SmackDown, be they good, be they bad, be they in the middle. We'll be doing that with myself, you, and possibly Gareth.
You?
Well, yeah.
You?
Do you want to be full named?
Yes, please.
Philip Enos Chambers. Penis Chambers. Yes, that's right. What a joke to end it on.
Just end the news.
Yeah, you can go follow me at RetroJ with a 0 over on Twitter if you would like to, and you can follow Phil Enos Chambers at
Phil My Chambers. My middle name is Mai. Not in.
Only slightly better in the grand scheme of things. We hope you have a fantastic day, whatever you're getting up to. Remember to tune in for the SmackDown podcast later on.
Yep.
And we'll speak to you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Anus.